and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It's Joe and I's turn to navigate through this online madness as we get into our final match of the night. We're going to take a look at the online CDL points and where we stand because we've had a big break since LA. Our final match is going to be Dallas going up against the Guerrillas. Joe, this should, I don't know, be a telling match. It might not be an exciting one, but I'm excited to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, you never know. Obviously, we have our LA champions in Dallas who are making a return, and I think a lot of people have high hopes for them this weekend. And then Guerrillas, who in LA, they threw that first match against Optic, right? They have this brand new roster, a lot of young talent on it. And for me, this match is just how much have they improved since then, right? It could be a much closer matchup than we expect, but it's just how much have they improved. You and I watched we had a scrim the other night. We know one thing that is changed, right? You have Aqua, who was the main AR. Now that's Blastful. So a new role that I don't think we're used to seeing Blastful in, but we'll see how it'll go up against Clayster. That'll be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, it should be. It's just, it seems kind of comical to me when you think about all the online-only stuff, everything you hear for Dallas, and they finally get their first LAN win. And then we go right back to online for everything through the global pandemic. So it's like they finally prove that they are a LAN team as well. I mean, hell, they got second in one tournament. They won the other they've been at. So they've been great on LAN, but it's just funny. Here we are now finding ourselves online. Are they going to be even better? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where they're going to be confident in each other's ability, right? That's just going to be it. You come off a win, you're confident in your game.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. But I do want to take a look at the game fuel keys to victory for Dallas as we sort of chat through what we expect from this squad. I think one thing that really stood out for them just at the last tournament, Shotzzy started to get comfortable. But Joe, I'm more going to focus kind of on the Guerrillas side and their game fuel keys to victory. When you think about the Guerrillas, is this going online when you have young players that I guess don't have a lot of experience on LAN, at least at a professional level? Is this a little bit easier for them?
I would think so, right? I think if we're in Dallas, right, you're against the home crowd, plus you have to play the defending champions. I would say that's a very swift 3-0. I think this is just a little bit different. It's a different environment. These guys are going to be comfortable, and we saw, I think, in LA that LAN pressure sort of get to the Guerrillas because they did throw away that series against Optic Gaming. But yeah, these guys are at home. They're feeling comfortable, and I think what we've been seeing, you see them in 10s. We just saw them in the scrim. Players like Vivid, they can take over games.
Joe, I'm really glad I remembered to lock my door. Copper just tried to break it? Did you hear that? He tried to, that was him. He tried to hit the door handle and get it already, bro. We would have made it 2 minutes if I didn't lock my door, and he would have busted through and knocked this whole thing down. Oh, God, that was close. But also, Joe, I did my own makeup. Look at this. I'm going real close to the camera. I did my makeup myself.
You saw, yeah.
I did
you look good.
A primer, some lotion, foundation, powder, spray. I did it all myself.
I've been thinking about the other night, right, when we were doing the broadcast. You were a producer, director, the observer, caster.
Now I'm a makeup artist.
Now you can put makeup artist. Your resume is building by the day. By the day. It's not a good thing for the rest of the world, but your skills are improving day by day due to this pandemic.
But for the U.S. Army quick scope, we're going to take a look through some of the major standouts for these teams. And obviously, this seems like a lopsided matchup when you think about where Dallas Empire are currently, how strong this squad looks, and the fact that, if anything, like they're cementing themselves, right? They're all getting comfortable in their roles, whereas on the other side, the Guerrillas are starting over, kind of, right? Like in a lot of ways.
I mean, right. It's a complete wipe for the Guerrillas. For Dallas, it's just to continue and improve, right? I mean, they get that win, but I think a lot of people still look at that tournament, and if you look at LA, they lost a series to FaZe. They didn't play them in the finals. We know Chicago has been a tough matchup for them all year. Can they finally beat Chicago or in Atlanta? That's the big question that everybody has on their mind.
So you're saying Empire have proved themselves, but they haven't proved to you they can take down the top two.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that they were going to be a team that could potentially or probably should win a title this year with the young talent, and they were able to do that. But you know what? You don't pick who's in front of you. You just play those matches. But they still have not beaten Chicago and in LA that lost to Atlanta. So yeah, can they play on that level? That's the question for me.
Well, we'll see the maps and modes, and we'll think about how this is going to play out. Joe, we kind of looked at this a little bit, the bans, the picks, where everyone's going to be going through this best of five. When you glanced at it, was there anything that really stood out to you majorly?
I mean, it's hard to look at these map win-loss records. The Guerrillas are going to have a lot of losses, right? It's just that's just what it is. They haven't had a great start. I think one thing that stood out to me was map 1, Gunrunner Hardpoint. Not the best hardpoint map for Dallas. I believe they're 2-4 on it. Their only 2 map wins are against Seattle. So maybe one of the maps they want to strengthen for the weekend. Looking at some of the other matchups. So maybe this is one that the Guerrillas can seal off Dallas.
Well, first, as we get into this, let's take a look at the Dallas lineup. We were excited about this one when it first formed, right? It seems to have your kind of grizzled veterans when you think about Crim6 and Clay. It has who's now, I guess, in between young talent and veteran when you think about where Røkkr is at in his career. He's Mr. kind of do it all. And then you have the 2 young studs, Anili and Shotzzy, who are maybe haven't come to that, well, they haven't lived up to maybe the stud name yet, but they're getting there. We know what they're capable of if they can get to their peak. It seems to be on paper just a really strong all-around roster, Joe.
Yeah, it is. It's a very strong roster, right? And I think the big thing for guys like Ili and Shotzzy is they are improving, and that's what we wanted to see. Similar to what I want to see out of the LA Guerrillas, these young players continue to improve. All of these tough matchups, you have to learn something from it, right? Learning is losing, or losing is learning. That's what it's about.
Wise words, Joe.
I had that mixed up.
Wise words.
That's what it's about. You have to learn from those matches, and I think. Obviously, Dallas has, those 2 young guys, they've definitely gotten better. I mean, Shotzzy, potential MVP last event.
Okay. All right, now for the Guerrillas roster, I know we chatted through it a little bit already, but do you feel confident compared to what they had when they came out to start the year that this team has a lot more potential?
Yeah, potential, right? I think that's it. Yeah, absolutely. This team has a ton of potential. I'm just excited to see Spart and Vivid, how much they've improved, Blastful in a new role, and just see what these guys do. You can't forget a guy like Decimate, who's been so consistent throughout his young career.
Yeah, I think we've all just been waiting for the break for him in a way. Like when we first saw him come on the scene, we thought he was going to be a top player that was going to be on a top team in no time. He finally got to an organization like Envy last year, but the Envy team stunk and never really turned into anything.
Sure
so like that felt like his chance. But yeah, like I guess we kind of thought like he would be on your phase, your optic. Like, he was work his way up the ladder like we've seen a lot of players do, but he got stuck for a little bit. What was it? What team was he on that fell short at the Pro League qualifier? Was it G2?
G2.
Yeah, G2. And
it just felt like when he's gotten to those rosters, that's when he's fallen a little bit short, and maybe that's the reason why. I mean, he was on Envy the end of World War II. They had a top 6 finish, top 4 finish, whatever it was. Like he has some top finishes. Yeah, he has some top finishes. He just hasn't gotten onto that roster where we're like, okay, Decimate's a superstar. This could be a moment for him, right? Sort of what we talk about with Røkkr from time to time. Like he's always been such a bright young star, but he hasn't had that roster until now. Now we're waiting for it for Decimate.
Well, we talked a lot about the young talent and maybe where Decimate can go, but on one side of this thing, when you talk about Empire, you have Crim6, you have the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He is a goddamn beast. Let's take a look at the GOAT.
I wouldn't regard myself as a legend.
Crim snaps for the streaks.
Crim's like a robot.
Gives him a bit of a haircut, but then he snaps.
He's the winningest player of all time.
This guy has 33 plus championships.
I'd rate Crim #1.
Crim with 3 in a row.
The best to ever do it.
And now Crim's on an 8 streak.
Undisputed best player of all time.
Who? Crim what? Crim6? Who?
Crim6, half the front unlocked. TP watching him blink. One go, wait out, Crim is gonna do it!
Starting out, Crim6 was the young gun who didn't call out too much and was just destroying everybody in gunfights.
The MLG Spring Champions Complexity!
A lot of people don't know this, but we actually teamed together on a game battles team in like 2008. His name wasn't even Crim6 yet. It was something like Eclipse or something like that.
I was just like another guy on the team, but I think we went like 161-0. That was like the moment where I was like, this is a lot of fun, I'm really good at it.
The man who has more victories than any player in Call of Duty history. Here is Crim6.
Crim6 has been sort of the model of perfection when it comes to a Call of Duty competitor.
He never wanted to like take a day off, and if you don't try your ass off, he's gonna yell at you.
He's a character.
Cap, I'm never gonna unblock you on Twitter, ever.
I'm going to drop this right here for Krim. We'll be back.
Krim is one of those players that honestly is just a very intelligent player.
I think in Call of Duty, there's a way to play to win.
He's good, obviously, but he always has moments where it's just, holy shit, he just did that.
Oh my God, he gets it off. Can he get away with his life? Oh, no! It's Crim6 that makes the play!
However, can he keep that run going on Modern Warfare is going to be the most interesting thing.
I'm sure he thinks he still has it in him, which, I mean, I think he does.
I look at how I can keep going. I don't want to stop. You can't pick a better player to have on your roster.
I've been trying to get back team with Krim for a while now, and you know, it never actually came to fruition until this Dallas Empire roster.
We have ourselves a new champ, the Dallas Empire, the victors.
We've seen him alongside that Optic Gaming lineup for years and years and years. How's he going to fare on a brand new team with brand new players?
I just view him more as like this mentor now. Like with the wealth of talent on that team, he needs to keep them in line, and they've got a chance to really do some insane things this year.
Is this a fresh beginning, or is this a slow fizzle out? The end of the career? I don't know.
Do I personally think he has the most to prove of all players? No. But do I think Krim feels that way? I sure as hell do. I think he is going to be hungrier than we've seen him possibly ever in his entire career.
Crim6, an absolute animal. Joe, you played against him. You followed a lot of his career.
Hated that.
He's incredible. What makes him such a special player?
It just feels like he always wants to prove that he's the best, right? When you talk about like star athletes, and it just feels like they time and time again they want more, and I think that is what has made him so fun to watch throughout his career. Ever since I remember, in Black Ops 2, whatever it was, when he first came onto the scene, it just felt like there was a shift, and I only think there's a few players that you can really talk about in Call of Duty and Call of Duty history where those players sort of changed the landscape, and Krim was sort of that first guy for me. I mean,
that's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Yeah, like his attitude sort of just changed the landscape of the game, and whether he brought that over from different games or whatever, but it just felt like once he entered the scene, things changed. And there's a few other players. I think guys like Formal, heck, even Scump, right? And which is funny because all those guys team together. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few players that you can probably touch on Simple a little bit if he continues to go as well as he's doing. That just sort of changed the scene, and Krim to me was that first guy.
Interesting. All right, well, we're getting ready to get into our final match of the night, guys, and thank you for your patience. There's been a lot of moving parts to get to this point. To bring you, we're trying our best to bring you basically a LAN broadcast with all of the fixings into an online environment. I know there's been some hiccups today, but we're just going to try and improve. But the final match of the night is going to be Dallas against Guerrillas. I'm getting used to this casting from home. I've got gym shorts on. I'm not wearing any socks. Fourth match coming up after this quick break.
We can save the restaurant. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com. Grubhub. Together, we can save the restaurants we love. The US Army. What's your warrior? Tournament audio and team chat listen-ins are brought to you by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the Call of Duty League. Join the Astro family and pre-order the CDL A40TR headset and Pro Team speaker tags today at astrogaming.com. Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official energy drink of the Call of Duty League.
Well, hello there. We are back. We're taking a look at the Challengers schedule as we get ready for our final match of the night. I'm going to be honest with you, I can't see the Challengers schedule, so you know more than I do. But Joe and I are excited for the final match, trying to see if the Guerrillas can push the Empire the distance is gonna be the biggest thing. And I'm curious with the likes of, Blast, Vivid, Spark, like what are these guys gonna do? Yeah. Especially online, the comfort of their homes, sitting back in their comfy gaming chairs, ready to rock. Going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just a few events ago, those guys were in Challengers, right? So I think it's awesome that the CDL is keeping the Challengers going. Can't wait to see the results of those, right? I forget the amount that we're having, but it's awesome. I mean, all these shifts that the CDL has had to make, and it's pretty awesome to see all of it come together.
Well, it's cool that it's going to be broadcasted and stuff, and I know there was a vocal part of the community that was upset at first. Some stuff wasn't broadcast, it wasn't figured out at the local events, and we've worked to remedy that. But it is ironic to me that all the complaints about how amateurs weren't getting their spotlight, there's probably been more amateurs that have come out of nowhere and all are suddenly on the top 12 teams in the world than any other year a couple months into the Pro League.
Yeah, I think it's that and sort of like the trend, right? I think it just goes back to last year where I think teams were maybe a little bit afraid to sort of just go for it, right? To take a chance on AMs, right? When maybe there's a few veterans who have been... I mean, how many times did it feel like there was players in their circles that kept coming back, right? It always felt like that. Heck, even when I was playing, it felt that way. So I just think that teams and organizations were afraid to just sort of take that shot.
Who was the first domino? You think like Kenny? Who was the first like 18-year-old that came in and was just nasty?
Well, I mean, Zoom and Attach for like FaZe. I think Attach and like AW, same with Zuma. There's definitely been some like S&D stars. I mean, Crowder was, I think, a big part of it. I mean, you look at Zuma, you look at Attach, you look at Priesta. I mean, he's been a big part of the
for some reason, for me, like the guy that just came in and immediately dominated, even though I know he competed a bit before the rules shifted to 18, I just always think Kenny. Like, I just always think Kenny came in and was the best player in the game, which was just absurd.
That was pretty nuts.
Then you have
last year, Habizi last year.
Envoy, like you have all these guys that have now done it. Oh, well, I guess Envoy's not a good example. He's a little bit older, but still, you have all these guys now where it became instead of it being an outlier, it's become a pattern, right? It's become more the norm, and I think that's exactly what you're saying. That people are more willing to take a risk. Now, will the risk pay off every single time? No. Has it recently?
No.
Kind of. like recently, it seems to work out.
I don't know. I think of it as like a sports draft, right? Like you obviously see the talent and they're performing at a certain level, against certain competition, and you kind of have to go for it. And that's just what these teams are doing.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. Like, part of me would love a draft, but I don't know how it would work because with the 18-year-old rule, like you sort of just come in and you're playing. I don't really know because there's no like league before that you would draft from. But I've always thought that'd be kind of crazy, right? If you had like a league or had a draft, how nuts that would be. But I think we're just having, guys, unfortunately, some server issues just with them getting in and getting set up and ready to go. So apologies. I know we've had some tech delays today. I know we've had some issues, but I promise you we're just going to improve, get better and better and better. And we're excited for it, but we're about to hop into it. I think we're both favoring Empire pretty massively in this one, but we've had a couple of Game 5s. We had a full sale in our last series. We've had all sorts of nutty stuff go down. Oh, we're getting in the map, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, we're loaded.
Let's get it, baby!
Clint, I'm excited.
I just know that my fiance and her sister are in the other room, and I'm going to try and be so loud. I just want to be so loud. Whatever reality show they're watching, I don't want them to hear a word. It's probably like Love Island, Australia or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm nervous that you're gonna pick up an accent through the wall, and that's when things are gonna get freaky.
You don't like when I get my accents, Joe.
If you're gonna bring that one, I'll bring out this one, brother. I mean, I'll take it to it. All right, let's get freaky, brother.
Right into map number 1, Empire Guerrillas, and we're gonna be playing it out on Gunrunner. What did you say about the stats of these two teams? Like relatively even, or no, not Empire's best.
Yeah, not Empire's best. They're 2-4. They have 2 wins against Seattle, 0-2 versus Chicago, 0-1 versus New York, and 0-1 against OptiGaming LA. So it's not their best hard point, but again, they're going up against the Guerrillas, who are 0-3. Yeah. So that's just, again, there's not a good map that we've seen for Guerrillas.
So Blast, dude, Blast is in his comfort zone. He's dropping 45. He is going to be dominating this series.
Okay, well, we will see what happens. Is I don't know if that's going to happen.
Maybe against somebody other than Empire.
Yeah, off the start, the Empire, they're going to try to hold on to that right side of your mini-map as we rotate towards that second hill. Shotzzy, he's going to find one, but immediately gets taken down. Some time being earned by the Guerrillas, but immediately they get taken care of by that nade. And Decimate, he is the furthest one up, so he's just trying to stay alive right now, but who's going to take care of him?
All right, how long can Empire hold on to this? The final few seconds to tick off of our first hard point. Spart looking to be the entry man. Does some damage, nearly hits his stick, but it's not going to connect. And it pushed out to bathrooms. I believe you had Clayster set up all the way towards bathrooms, so he's just got the crossfire right now. He's going to get 2 kills. He was just picking them off the doorway. How badly is that going to stagger the push? Unfortunately for him, he basically gets the only kills. So now you've got multiple players from Empire spawning out towards tracks as everybody from Guerrillas tries to rally in. They're able to get the break on through and at least get some time and potentially a contest.
Yeah, this is actually great for Guerrillas. I think it was Vivid who got around back, was able to find 1 kill. That opens things up. You talk about the staggered push, and I don't know, the close spawns didn't come in for the Empire. And this was a great break for the Guerrillas.
I thought it was staggered because Clay got 2 from bathrooms, but then he was basically the only one that got a kill. Everybody else got smoked inside the hard point, and that's the break. So think about what a swing that was. I mean, that's what, a 60 to 80 point swing based on that break for Guerrillas, which could have been looking like a nice lead for Empire. But over to Minecart will go. I think Crim6 was your lead man over at Minecarts, as Clay will be the first one to get into the hard point. And Empire now will try to bring it back. They can't afford to get broken again.
Yeah, you have Clay set up in the hill. Spart and Decimate, they're already here, though. And this could be another early break as Aqua. I think Aqua's already having a big game. We touched on him. No longer the main AR for the Los Angeles Guerrillas. He's going to be that flex player. Blastful takes over the main AR role. An 11-7 start for Aqua. We know throughout his career, such a versatile player. The man can do it all. So not the first time that we've been seeing this.
I think it's always kind of made sense for me in the sense of, like, when you think of an AR, you think of like your slower, more cerebral player at times in the right spots, thinking ahead of the game. That's just not what I think of when I think of Aqua. I think of Aqua just flying and frying, right? Like, he's so talented. Not
nasty.
You're not trying to knock like his intelligence with the game, but I wouldn't say he's like our highest IQ player. Like, his strength is his gunplay. Like, let him get a lot of gunfights, and looks like he's seeing some success here. I like to see that from Aqua. Good stuff.
Yeah, as soon as we started talking about Aqua, though, Dallas Empire immediately break that hill, and I think they were on a 12-team spree. I think you had 2 5 sprees and a 2 spree on the Dallas Empire, so it feels like their gun's starting to warm on up as we rotate over towards these crates. Now Dallas, they're just trying to make sure they have the left side of the mini-map for the final hill when we rotate over towards that warehouse. But Blast, he's just going to be watching over his teammates.
Joe, can I tell you something?
Yes. Yeah,
Joe, I'm basically inside of my microphone right now, and I just want you to know that I'm really excited to be casted again with you, buddy.
Yeah, pal, we're gonna have a great time. I mean, I'm just excited to hear. It feels like we're getting underway again, right? It feels like we hit a big old restart button.
It does. But as we get back into it, so do the Guerrillas, as they retake the lead. A nice hold, and Vivid just picking faces. He gets set up in the back. The problem is the entire Empire lineup hunting him down with a double melee come through. He wins that fight. Can't take down Illy, though, as they push the back. But was that distraction enough to open up the front? It might have been an opening for Aqua to get through. He is going to get shut down. It's 4 kills through for Empire in quick succession to try and hold on. So far, Empire have survived.
Yeah, I thought Vivid maybe finding 2 kills, maybe just sort of, drew attention so his team could get pushed up towards Railroad. But Dallas doing a good job here. Crim already up to 19-12, having a big game out of the veteran, the GOAT, as we highlighted him before this. But Guerrillas, with 30 seconds left, it feels like they're going to break, and they do. They get all 5 down right now. Blast with that M4 having a solid game at 15-11. So a good start, a good first rotation for the Guerrillas.
Fantastic stuff from Guerrillas. We get set up now for the second set of rotations as Spart is making the plays to make sure they get that final bit of scrap time. Let's get right back towards mid-map. What's the lead gonna be? Right around 26, 27 points for Guerrillas. Not a huge lead. And we know Empire have had some wild comebacks, especially when you take a look back to Los Angeles and some of the stuff they were able to pull off. Can't ever count them out of it. Clay, though, really struggling this. You were kind of talking about the Blast versus Clay matchup, right, leading into it. Well, yep. Blast has got the upper hand right now.
Yeah, he does. Having a great first half of this game, 17 and 13 from him. But it's actually interesting. After that final hill, I mean, a lot of the focus has been on where Krim is. Just trying to rotate for the second one. He wants to flip the spawns. Dallas, I don't like where they're spawning right now for that second hill. They're getting a lot of time. You see in the kill feed, they had 4 or 5 kills, but all the purple arrows still spawning bottom right, and that is just due to Krim's position. He needs his teammates to get pushed up, at least stay alive. It looks like they're going to start working the back, but he gets taken down by Blast. A huge one-on-one win for him. But Shotzzy, he was able to find 2 kills. There's one more player back there. That's Illy. He's able to take down Vivid, but he's the only Dallas player alive towards the back.
Can he make the play? He's going to have to deal with Blast, which I believe is set up in the back. That's a lot of kills through for Empire. This could be a one-on-one for him now. The stun is going to connect. There's the break. Parallel spawn now in for either side, but Illy gets in. Fantastic stuff from Illy and Empire to get through, but the Guerrillas now suddenly have the numbers. They've gotten a foothold into the back. Everybody, Joe, is kind of off to the races to get back in.
Yeah, Decimate with a big flanker on the back and actually gave his teammates those close spawns. So a huge play by Decimate, a huge 2-piece on top of it. And once again, right, just this skirmish around this second hill. And at the end of it, it's the Los Angeles Guerrillas who are getting that time.
Just about a tie game now, Joe. As the few seconds will tick off over to Shotzzy's POV. Pre-aimed here with the MP5, just trying to get set up for Karst. Over to Clay, who's had the gunfight out in Forest. That's 3 in a row for Clay. Wow, as he picked it up. Was he 9 and 18 just a moment ago? 18, now up to 16 and 22. So he started to heat up, and, well, Joe, to be honest, maybe not what we expected coming into the year, but Clay has been the lightning rod for this team. Well, I wouldn't even say lightning rod. He's just been a consistent slaying force for this team, or maybe in the past we've called him a lightning rod.
I think both him and Krim and Clay, right? Both of the veterans. Well, I think we expected so much from the young guys. And I don't want to say they underperformed, but I don't think they performed to like that star status that we expected. So it's been Krim and Clay who have really stepped up throughout their entire year. I mean, listen, they have a 2nd place and a 1st place. That is their resume. They have had such a solid year. Yes, they've, you know, lost every series to Chicago and Atlanta, but that doesn't matter because they have won a home series already throughout this year.
Sorry, Joe. I was trying to pull something up on my other monitor. I apologize. I've got it all set now. Sorry. I was trying.
I didn't know if I lost you. I was like,
I'm sorry.
Like, did I disconnect?
No. I left you for 1 second trying to get something set up on the other monitor. That's my deepest apologies, Joe. But I'm back.
You're good.
And you've got my full attention, you Italian monster.
All right, well, that was a great hold, though. You had a 40-point lead as you came out of that. The Guerrillas now trying to bounce back here at crates. But Dallas, what finally felt like a perfect hold at Railroads now gives them the lead. We've had a few lead changes throughout this one, but Shotzzy with a big 3 going to put pressure on this.
Well, I think Guerrillas maybe already playing Empire tougher than you would have expected coming into this. Anything that's really stood out for their success?
Well, I mean, they're keeping up with the slang, right? You see at the top, right? You're having a good game from Aqua. Maybe he's slowed down a bit, yes, but everybody is right there. Maybe you want a little bit more from Spart, but the fact that they're slaying with them, yeah, we knew that they could do this, and that's, I think, why they're in the game. And what, those 2 second hills that were so scrappy, they've come out on top of, right? We saw Dallas on that first rotation rotate early. They lose it, and we just saw it again on this second rotation where they've lost that hill.
But when we talk about the final moments of game, it's in the clutch. That is where Empire has been fantastic. When you talk about their recent performance on land and look at that kill feed, it's going to light up all Empire. 5 are going to go down. And this, they could maybe just close it out almost perfectly unless there's a contest that comes in from Guerrillas. But Shotzzy try and do everything he can. If he would have won that gunfight, if he would have won that one and picked blast off the minecart from low ground, that would have been kind of nutty. But Guerrillas do get in long enough to at least make sure they're going to see one more hard point. But can they mount this ridiculous comeback? They'd have to bring it back 60 down.
Yeah, it's just so tough because 19 points when we rotate over towards middle platform once again. It's tough because the Guerrillas have to do two things at once. They have to keep them off the hill. They have to try to win rotation a second. And that's just not easy to do. Dallas knows they don't have to worry about the rotation. They can get control of green. They can get control of bathrooms and finish this map one with 250 points.
That's been one of the harder things to do in this game, considering how close the spawns will be.
Yeah,
and
well,
while 5 down will likely seal the deal, is that'll clear them out. They're spawning all over that right side of the map, and you still have Hook in a position to flank this as they get near the point. He was actually thinking about spawns, I think, but got caught by Vivid. But 2 more points to go, and that's map 1 for Empire. Shotzzy is frying 39 and 27, picking up right where he left off in LA. Shotzzy seemed to be a new player in Los Angeles. He's looking good here.
Yeah, he just seems comfortable. I mean, that's just it in this new role. He is slaying. Crim kept up with him as well. I think he had 36 to 37 kills. And when I talked about the Guerrillas, they had that even slaying power with them. As soon as I talked about that, it went away. You saw so many sprees come in for the Dallas Empire in what was such a close game, such a back and forth battle. The last 2-3 hills all went the way of Dallas.
Shotzzy led in slaying. He had the most time in the hard point for his team. I mean,
that's a good game.
He did just about everything.
No, everything.
And I guess what's so scary about it is, like, okay, we know. I don't like to talk online versus LAN too much, but I think it's a lot more relevant, like when you're a younger player, right? Just because the pressure of LAN. And yes, I think we saw Shotzzy maybe struggle with it a little bit with his transition to COD, just under the spotlights with this new franchise.
Sure.
But he was already good online, right? He was already performing well in scrims. You got to think now he's going to be even better that he got that chip off his shoulder when you think about LAN, like, right? He's got to be even better.
Well, I just think, too, just the role switch. I really think that's what it comes down to. The whole team's going to be more comfortable. They probably had a week or so with that change before LA. They're able to win the event. But I think as they're able to practice more, he's able to get more comfortable. And again, Shotzzy and Illy, they're still learning competitive respawns, right? Like, those guys come from an S&D background. Every single day, they are learning something new. And that's just what's so important. And yeah, you're seeing it start to pay off.
Okay, well, before we get into the next match, I know we talked a bit about Empire now and what Shotzi's been able to do, but I want to talk through what's been one of the crazier teams, maybe outside of Toronto, with all the team changes they had. I want to talk now about the Guerrillas. So when you first saw their roster on paper, I think you said to me you did not think they were going to be very good. When you saw that original starting 5, you're like, this team,
the original
yes,
one,
this team is not going to be able to compete. Now it's sort of been like a revolving door, right? Like, you have the change for Blast for Aches. Now you have this big swap for 2 more players. Does it end here, or is this going to be something where you're going to see changes kind of consistently happen throughout the course of the year until there's some sort of roster lock?
For Guerrillas?
Yeah, for Guerrillas.
I think that you have to give this time.
Well, how
right?
much?
Now
Okay,
so
how much time?
This big of a change? Well, I mean, I'd probably give it at least another month or two. I think the delay of the league and what happened, that probably actually helped them because they could have kept practicing, getting these guys comfortable. But you're taking a chance on 3 young players, young superstars, right? Like, well, young could be superstars. Yeah, I think maybe the rest of the year. I don't know. This feels like how do we say this? I don't know. This is like a building here for them. It really does feel that way because they took this chance. I mean, obviously, I know that they can find other talent, but it just feels like they're not prepping for year 1. They're prepping maybe for the end of year 1 and into year 2.
So it's a big enough change and a risky of enough call that, like, it's sort of a live or die by it type thing. Like, you just have to go for it, you think?
I think so, right? Like, why give these guys, if you truly believe in their talent, why give these guys 2 months, right? Like, you have to give them longer. And I think that's where, like, the coaching staff, Bevels and Røkkr, I think they know these things. They're probably talking to the organization where, yeah, they just have to give these guys time.
Maybe a silly question just to ask you real quick before we talk about kind of our scuff play of the game and some of the moments from the map.
You've asked me lots of silly
I've asked
questions.
you a ton of silly questions over time. You mentioned the coaching and how important that's going to be, but sometimes I think of, like, that veteran when they take a back seat, how they're able to train up you think of a quarterback, like a veteran quarterback, maybe can train up a rookie quarterback and how they get better. Like, is there somewhere here where you think Akes is important to this team with regards to helping these young players, or is he just pissed off and not involved? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Knowing Pat for as long as I do, there is no way he is giving them an inch. I don't think he's helping.
Okay, I was curious, and I don't think so either.
I think he's probably sitting back and collecting his paycheck. I really do.
All right, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
I think that's what you have Ricky and Bevel's there for. Like, I think they can help them a lot. Yeah, but the question about Pat, there is no.
Well, when you think about major sports, you think about sometimes when players go to a bench, they are there in more of a support facility, depending on the type of player that will help the young guys, help the new guys that replace them get better. I don't know if we're there yet with Cod. I don't know if we've got to that point.
I think that though, that's about like a starting quarterback when you draft a rookie, and that the starting quarterback's still the starter though. Like if you would have asked me this question if Pat was still playing,
that's true. You're right.
Then
I
would say yes. So if Vivid or Spart were on the bench, like, then I'd be like, maybe they're learning from Pat and the way he's communicating with the team during practice, this and that. But
no, I think you're right. I think
the way it is now,
that wasn't very 1-to-1, was it? Yeah, no, I asked that.
All
right, but that's going to lead us now into our scuff play of the game. It's the GOAT. It is Crim6. You saw our piece on him leading into this. He was right there behind Shotzi. I think he had 37. He dropped on the map. He was sensational there as well. Crim has been a consistent force to be reckoned with throughout this 2020 season so far. He's a special talent. I don't know when the hell he's going to go, guys. He's still a lot of winning.
I don't know if he's ever gonna go away. I really don't. I have no idea when he's like when is he done, right? Like that is sort of like the question
for 45
for players.
45.
Why not? Who says why not? I mean, if there's one player, if you told me he'd do it, it'd probably be him. I'd believe you. I would believe you.
Yeah, no, I thought that line you had on him earlier was great though. The whole you thought there was a shift when he joined, like that might be. Obviously, calling some of the greatest of all time is the biggest praise you can give them. But to say that you actually felt like a shift in the sport, like a shift in the esport when he joined, it's kind of wild to think about.
Well, it just feels like he had prior experiences, and I think when he got onto like that complexity lineup, like they changed things, right? The way you practice and prep,
the way you communicate. I think some of the Halo players that came over taught Call of Duty players how to communicate.
The intensity for practice, like it was one of those things when I was watching, like I would watch their scrims, I'd be like, I want to do that, right? Like I want my team to perform that way. And I think there's a few players you could probably touch on that have had similar impact, but he's definitely the one that stands out for me.
I got that just when I switched over from previous esports title and hearing the way players talk to each other, the way they prepped, and then when I switched over to Call of Duty, I was sort of like, what the hell are these guys doing? Like, at least when you talk about like small talk and chat or just the comms, like I would listen to it, like this is horrible. Like this isn't good. So yeah, no, I think you're right. There's players that have had a big impact on just moving the game forward where maybe it would have been stagnant in certain areas, but. Just a reminder, guys, with regards to the bracket and where we're standing. This is day one, right? And that's been the biggest change for the weekend. Where it was Saturday and Sunday when we were at the live events on land at the different home series, it's now stretched out over the weekend, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have 4 today, 6 tomorrow, 3 on Sunday. So a little bit of a shift there, but.
Well, I think the biggest thing is if you had any confusion past weekends, Friday, Saturday will be your regular pool play mat. Like we're gonna be done with pools. We're gonna get our final 4 teams. Sunday we're gonna have semifinal into a grand final, right? Like I think maybe that confused some people going from groups into that semifinal bracket. You won't have that. Everything should be pretty crystal clear.
2 days
now.
of pool play into a bracket.
Yep.
A lot easier. Yeah, no, I think you're right with how you're breaking that down. But any big surprises for you, or everything kind of normal today?
Yeah, I thought, or what, today?
Yeah, no, just today. Like so far with results, anything really stand out to you?
I think Toronto in winning that game 5. I think everybody just figured Florida was going to take that one, but we weren't sure what Toronto roster to expect. So them winning game 5, maybe they finally found a comfortable 5. I'm still not a huge advocate of having Looney on the bench. I know he hasn't had particularly the best year, but I still think he's such a strong leader. He's one of really the few, in-game leaders I think we have left. So that was a big one. And I think the way Chicago beat Minnesota was a big surprise for me, just because Minnesota, they got to that grand final I was just expecting a better series for sure.
Yeah, and then the other one, I mean, Seattle loses the way that Seattle always does. Doesn't matter if it's LAN or online. They're going to a Game 5. They're going to lose it, and they're going to lose both search and destroys. That has been their recipe
They
for
lost
failure.
both searches,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
That has been the Seattle search
recipe
all
for
year.
failure. I like that.
Oh, God.
Recipe for failure.
Yeah, that's been their story so far. But all right, into map 2. It's going to be Arklov. I mean, we're going way back to the beginning of the year, maybe in Minnesota, where we really liked what we saw from Empire. Obviously, on this map, a lot has changed. The round timer has changed. Strategies have adapted as a result, but they've been a good search team, a solid search team from the get-go.
Yeah, we knew that was it when we saw this roster, right? With Shotzi and Illy joining it, and we were like, they're going to be a very good search team. How will they be against the best respawn teams in the world? And now they're already up to par with that. So, yeah, very scary team is Dallas. They're starting to work their way up towards this A bomb site. Well, Vivid, he's going to find that first blood on the Crim. I think Crim should have probably waited for that smoke. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Blastful is going to win another one, and I think this is going to be a quick round for the Guerrillas.
Up to Clay and Illy. Maybe try and make something happen. Clay gets pushed out. It's all on Illy. He's sniping in the back, and he will get dropped. And that is just a clean round from Guerrillas. I don't think they lost a single player. 5 up, 5 down. Empire smoked off the map early, but that is the big shift that happened, right? With the change in round timer, it's a bit more difficult on offense, especially when you're trying to work this A site. They get picked apart.
Yeah, and I mean, you had that sort of just default A setup where the goal is to plant the bomb into a position where a player like Illy can just watch it from his spawn building, right? That broken building up top. It makes it so difficult to defuse it. You have to clear everything out. And then, oh, guess what? The last person you have to worry about has a sniper rifle. He's just playing his life, only has to hit one shot. But the Guerrillas, they handle it. They're able to find the first blood, and from there, it's a perfect round.
The hard part sometimes is getting the bomb down. But Guerrillas...
Yeah, very, very tough.
Guerrillas going to be trying a similar strategy with regards to this A push. Spart's going to get the first blood, instantly traded out by Illy. Crimsix gets the position, and then everything stops for a moment. But all right, we're back into the action. Aqua, well, he hit himself with a nade. I am worried about how that might have happened to him, but another kill now for Blast. 3 versus 3. Vivid hits the snipe. Illy and Shotzi. Last 2 remaining for Empire.
They added a new specialist. It's... Time stop. No, I'm just kidding. But there we go. Shotzi's able to find 1. Now it's a 2 versus 2. 40 seconds to work with.
Build time freeze.
It'll get you.
2v2. Illy trying to get position, but Shotzi going to get caught. Now on Illy to clutch up in the 1v2. They've already moved off the site. He's got 40 seconds to work with, but Blast has got the gunny around the Guerrillas up 2-0. An unfortunate round for Aqua, but it's a win nonetheless.
Hey, pull it out. Yeah, when you face adversity, you got to handle it, and they're able to handle it, and they take the 2-0 lead. Nice round out of the Guerrillas.
All right. Can Empire get anything going in this third round? Let's see what they go with on offense. Didn't find a lot of success towards A. Blast.
And I mean, you see it that scoreboard, right? Yeah, I mean, you only have 2 kills on the board for Dallas right now.
Not good,
so
Joe. Not good.
Not what you want in 2 rounds of search and destroy.
Blast.
Is Blast. They're gonna find another first blood. A nice little door peek. He's able to find the first kill. And that just gives them so much intel that's a B push. So they all rotate over. Spart in the field is able to find 1. But Illy does entry into the bomb site, and he's able to find a second.
Well, that, I was going to say, maybe makes it interesting if somehow he gets out with his life, but Decimate's going to peek from top B building, and it'll fall. It seems like they've been in like a 1v3, 2v4. Like, they've just been in such bad situations because the early gunfights have not gone their way whatsoever. They've had 0 map control. Can Clayster pull a rabbit out of the hat in this 1v3? Not going to happen.
No.
Position there for Spart. Hits the shots. What do you have? 4 total kills now for Empire?
Yeah, the rabbit just stayed in the hat. He just made it his home. I mean,
fell
Clay went for it. Yeah, Clay went for it, and he just got bit by the rabbit. It's just that's the rabbit's hat now, so he's going to stay inside.
Nothing whatsoever working for Empire, especially on the, well, okay, everywhere, but the offense, we've seen 2 of them, and it does not look pretty. Spartan Blast, Vivid combined with 13 and 3 to get this going. Blast has been so strong in the early going of these rounds.
There we go, first blood.
Finally one for him. Clay had a kill, and there he was able to finish it. Finishes the kill, gets out. Everybody drops, but Decimate 1 versus 4 mid-map ends up being the Empire's playground this round. Trying to get through to the back and maybe find a play into their spawn is Decimate, but he is cornered and dropped. Finally, something to feel good about for Empire.
I mean, 3 out of these 4 rounds, you had 1 2v2, but 3 out of the 4, the offensive team has just pushed one away and just gotten just smoked, right? I mean, 2 of the Dallas Empire's offenses have not gone well, right? As soon as those first bloods start to happen, they know where the push is, they rotate over. They're just,
dude,
I don't know. You're not having those small skirmishes, those 3v2s, those 2v2s.
No. Well, I think some of it's probably just due to the size of this map and that round timer. You kind of have to pick something and commit at times, and if you get a lucky guess from, you know, kind of a blind counter maybe from Guerrillas, or someone makes an individual play, the round's over in the first 20 seconds. Like, it'll happen that way. But here they go again.
The A stack.
I couldn't tell if that kill got finished. They didn't. Okay, I thought for a second they were going to get one, but Guerrillas don't finish the kill until Vivid comes through with that opening pick with a sniper rifle. Now the push halts again. Vivid, a lovely one through the bush. Crim's head splattered to the back of that red building. Oh, that was kind of violent.
It kind of was. Yeah, it kind of was.
It was like a Tarantino film.
Jeez, wow. Been watching too many movies on this break.
That's my bad. That's my bad. It's a dark and twisted world inside of Maven's old noggin. Placed her once again. Oh, his 15th 1v3 of this game. Clay falls 4-1. They play them tough in the hard point, but drop. They're dominating here in the search and destroy as Vivid with the pistol from the top rope takes him down.
Yeah, just a nice call from the Guerrillas. I mean, they 4-stack A. Vivid once again with the sniper is able to find that first blood, and then they just use their numbers. They use their nades, they throw it over, they put the pressure on A. What does Dallas have to do? They have to rotate back, and at that point, you have 30-40 seconds. So guess what? They know exactly where you're going to be. They shut the push down.
Unfortunately, Hook the Nuke looking like Hook the Fluke right now as he's 0-4. Just nothing going in this map too.
Well, one player got up though. I think that's Hook. Hook's in a good position to make the play.
Well,
and I lied.
The play was bullets to the brain.
We got, like, are we doing this again? Are we all just? This is gonna be another flawless round, huh? Is this just gonna be? Yeah, okay. Three go down. What is that? What is this game right now? What is this?
This time it's from the offense though. Like they just smoked them.
They find the first blood and they just go.
Well, that's a wall bang and a half. That's through a brick wall, maybe a few 4x4s as well. And he's dead. This is an odd search and destroy. These rounds just feel so fast. Like,
I think this is gonna be like a record, dude.
Well,
like, this is
for this
map.
Like a
6-minute
search. For this map, probably. Yeah. Like this isn't one that I would ever think would be that quick of a search and destroy, just based on how far you have to run off the break. But it's looking that way, and Hook at risk of having no kills in this game unless he can muster up something here.
Here's that setup again. That setup out of the Guerrillas, and they just go blast. He pops dead silence. He's trying to make the play. Illy's sniping. He's going to take down his teammate. But Blast trying to stay alive. Does he have the help? Aqua's watching over him. Not before he gets taken down. And when it's all said and done, the Empire do have a one-man advantage.
Well, the pressure's still on them to get this plant, though. As Spartan now comes in through mid, though. Shotzi has read it.
Stay alive. Yeah, good play.
That's an opening for Decimate. They turn. He pinches. Now he's going to be swarmed, and it's all going to fall to Spark. 40 seconds on the clock. 1 versus 2. Going to turn into a 1v1. Can he get away with his life? Just gets to the mound.
Oh, he gets stunned, though.
He doesn't have the angle, though. He doesn't have the angle yet. There it is. Up from behind. Clay hops on the rock. Clay finishes the round. And finally, Clay is the last man alive, is able to get the clutch. 1v1, a little bit more manageable than the several 1v3s he's been in. Empire still up. Well, still alive. No, they're not
yeah.
winning at all, but they're still up and standing on their 2 feet in this game.
Yeah, Clay's just making sure that he actually got that kill. You saw the extra bullets coming in. Just making sure.
Yeah, no,
just
exactly.
You never know.
That's all it was.
Sometimes with the change down line, you just gotta
playing too much Warzone. Just making sure he puts him to bed, Joe.
Exactly.
Yep. Don't want to self-res to come
those darn self-reses, bro.
I'm going to assume that most people know what we're talking about because 50 million people have now played Warzone. But, all right, can they rip off 5 in a row to win this round? We already saw 105 comeback from the Huntsmen. A taller order now for Empire. Aqua, though. He's able to find the first blood as that was aggressive out of Hook, but he's going to get dropped. Hook 1 and 7.
Oof. Blast with a big kill on a Shotzi to open the site up. It's just as soon as they get first blood, the Guerrillas just go. They just continue to steamroll. It's 2 versus 3 now. As Illy and Krim were able to find a few kills throughout the map, but you still have a tough position for Clay and Krim. It comes down to the vets. Can they extend this map?
That's those S&D players, man. Like, you get a kill, you take more map control behind it, right? You just snowball it. But those are some lovely shots from Clay. Bomb getting planted now for Guerrillas. They can close out the game here with the plant, and now a win in the 2v2, and it's over. But nice shots from Clay. Spart deleted. Blast now. 1v2.
I mean, he's got an MP5. He probably knows he's going up against 2 M4s.
If you're really quiet, and
like this,
you just listen to that clock, it feels like you're watching that Christopher Nolan movie Dunkirk.
Okay, I'll listen.
You don't have it.
Ooh, nice little cheeky spot through the window.
Clock through
to the wall.
I can't say the next line. All right, a blast is going to fall. That's Empire. I almost did. I almost kept that song going. Empire get the round victory.
Oh, yeah, I was sweating.
Yep, I actually am. I got to put some more powder on my face after this when we go to commercial break. Usually, I'll have someone do that for me while we're
yeah, your room's probably 150
so
degrees.
I've got like the 2 PCs going, all these lights.
Woo! And I know how you are.
I'm a big sweaty boy.
You can't talk back to production like, turn it down in here. Turn it down. It's so hot.
We have central air, but I'm gonna need to get a mobile AC that I'm gonna put under my desk and just have it blowing on my feet, keep me nice and cool.
That'll be pretty loud though. That'll be very loud.
Right, Joe. That's why I have you here.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, round by round, Empire stay up 2 in a row. But they've got to get 5 in a row. 3 more rounds now needed. They're back to offense. They're going back to their A push. Vivid, he's had a couple first bloods in this one. Looks to the angle yet again. But smokes are out. As Blast that picks it up. Blast 11 and 4. Dominating this
and it's just in a position where the push isn't. They're like Clay's middle of the map, and then he's able to find the third. Blast looking for the ace potentially. Italy takes him down. But I mean, that push is through A. And Clay's getting picked off middle. You just don't want that to happen because you see what happens. Look at all the purple arrows. As soon as they take down Clay, they just take mid-map away from him. That's all they had to do.
Now Krim, the only hope for this map too, if he can pull off the 1v3. Unfortunately,
I mean, he's just looking on the wrong side of the map. Like, look at where he's looking.
There's nobody home, Joe.
Nobody. I mean, they're home. They're just in the other houses. They're not at this house.
Yeah, they sold the house. They moved to a new house in the same neighborhood.
Just right across the street. Yeah, they wanted this one. This is the house they actually wanted. They just waited patiently for it.
Krim wins that one, surely. Oh, they don't even need to worry about a trade. Is he going to have time to get this down?
Stretch it!
Just going to get there,
Doesn't
but
matter.
Vivid rotates out, gets to the window. The Guerrillas get the win. Wacky and wild, search and destroy. They'll tie up our series at 1 apiece, Joe. Blast went off.
Yeah, a big search and destroy for Guerrillas, right? Just to keep them in this series. And, I think we figured that if they were going to try to win this one, maybe a steal or a respawn and try to take 2 searches away. But when we know how strong of a search and destroy team Dallas can be, a big win out of them. It was a very strong map. They were 2-1, I believe, is the map record that we have. But as you said, Blast 13-5, a great map from him.
Great from him. A dud from Hook. He goes 1-8. Not what you want to see from a guy that just got crowned a champion for the first time. But it's our first series in the new online league for the home series Dallas event. He has a rough one. We'll see if he can bounce back in the respawn, but that'll get us to 1-1. And I mean, they played him tough in the map 1-2. Like, so far, this is a very, very close series. And yeah, maybe in this format, especially with the break, we talked about it on hard points. We had this long break. What teams were grinding? What teams weren't? Who's going to improve? Like, well, some of the lower teams in the CDL points, well, they have maybe caught up a little bit to some of these top teams. Maybe this is a bit of a work of that.
Well, I think it's one of those things too, where the teams that made changes, they're going to be more motivated than the teams that hadn't to continue to practice, right? A team like Guerrillas is they'll play whoever, right? They'll play AMs, whoever it may be. They're trying to get as many practices and scrims in it as they can to make sure they're prepped for these events. Where a team like Dallas, you had the opportunity maybe to just hang back a little bit, play a little war zone, and you just came off a victory, and now maybe this past week you start to, get that routine back.
Well, we have the rest of this best of 5 to come. We still have the tournament all weekend long, but this is our final round 1 matchup. It's Empire up against Guerrillas. We'll be right back with the map 3 after this quick break.
The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com.
Grubhub. Together, we can save the restaurants we love.
PlayStation 4, the official platform partner of the Call of Duty League. the US Army. What's your warrior? Tournament audio and team chat listen-ins are brought to you by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-am of the Call of Duty League. Join the Astro family and pre-order the CDL A40 TR headset and Pro Team speaker tags today at astrogaming.com. Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official energy drink of the Call of Duty League.
Welcome back to our final round one matchup of the night. It is the Dallas home series. So far, the quote-unquote home team. Now we're playing online and we're all over the damn place. But so far, they look good in the respawn. They look flat for the most part in the search and destroy. Guerrillas take it to them. They even up the series. See what they can do in the dom.
Yeah, and we're going to, I believe it's Hackney Yard domination, and this has been a strong one all year long for the Dallas Empire, right? This is just a consistent map for them, one of their better domination maps, so another tough test for the Guerrillas. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, they're going to have to try to steal a respawn, get us to a map 5.
Outside of like Minnesota, when everything kicked off, I guess is where Shotzi had his 7 and 400 map and all the memes started, and they got smoked by Huntsmen. Outside of that, though, yes, this has been a very strong map for them, but for some reason, this is where like I always think back to their woes starting on land, is like this map when they just got blown out.
Well, since they're 5-2 overall, they are 5-2.
No, they absolutely have been great. But before we get loaded into the map 3, I do want to take a look at your U.S. Army tactical play. There were some big plays, some tactical plays made throughout the course of that search and destroy. And I'll tell you what, Guerrillas, though, I think you nailed it, man. When they would get that first blood, they would find an inch, they would take 20 feet. Like they would just go with them the second there was any kind of opening. And obviously, they really did them.
Yeah, they were playing at a very fast pace. They just took it to him, and Blast himself, he had a fantastic map. So, yeah, Blastful very deserving of this tactical play. Happy to see him playing this well so far. He seems very comfortable in his role that he's playing as this main AR.
What's that actual saying that I just completely butchered while I was going through it? Is it take an inch, give a mile? Is that the saying?
Yes.
I think so. What did I say? Take an inch, they'd give 20 feet. I couldn't remember what it was, dude. So I just
I have no. I didn't even know you said that.
I was trying to.
I blacked out. I think
I was trying to say that saying, and I realized halfway through that I had no idea what I was saying. So I just went with 20 feet. But
yeah.
Dude, I hate when that happens as a commentator, man. You got something in your brain, and then your brain just sort of dies live on air.
That's why I tell you, losing is learning,
bro.
Yeah,
that's true, Joe. We are just...
No, sorry, learning is losing.
That's what it was.
What I said. That's the one.
Listen, we're just incredibly talented individuals that are bringing you the absolute best. But I just want you to know, if ever we do fumble, it's because of the lights that are on our faces. They're very
These things
bright.
are brutal.
No, I literally feel like my head. I feel like my head's in a microwave,
brutal.
Joe. Like my head is inside of a microwave.
Yeah, no, these last few days I've been feeling off, right? Obviously, we had these great cameras. We're going to use them for our personal streams. Sure. Like, yeah, no problem. I'm trying to look good. And then this thing, I think, has literally fried me for 2 days, dude. Like,
you texted me, you go,
I was a zombie. I was like, bro, I was averaging like 6 kills in Warzone. I was playing like you. I couldn't believe it.
You texted me, you're like, bro, I can't break 8 kills. I'm like, what? You're 20 bombed DeLuca. What's going on?
I don't know.
Man. There's something in
these
it.
lights.
But we do look good. We do look good.
Yeah, I mean, we look good. We're doing our own makeup. I mean, just nothing we really can't do right now.
Alyssa, I hope you're watching the stream, but Alyssa handles our makeup stuff. She sent us a box, basically, because obviously we can't, go anywhere to get stuff right now, so she sent us, this home makeup a kit from Sephora is it called?
Yeah.
But what the funny thing is, I went to our locker rooms here at the apartment complex to pick up our mail, and I get this box. It's from Sephora, and I'm like, oh, Kat ordered a bunch of makeup again. It was all for me. She was pissed, bro. She saw all the cool stuff I got. She wasn't happy, but. I do want to talk a little bit about how the Challenger schedule is going to play out through the course of this, because there's been some shifts with regards to how this is going to go down now that it's going to be online, the prize pools, and what's going to be broadcasted, and the schedule that you're going to see. But it's awesome. We're doing our best to, in a very crazy time with everything going on in the world, do the best we can for everybody. So a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this weekend we had a $15,000 prize pool for them. Next weekend is the Challengers Cup, $50,000, Maven. $50,000 for our Challengers teams next week, and that'll be a fun one to watch.
That's a big chunk of change there, Joe. That's a big chunk of change. You were playing for like a bag of Doritos and a trip to Taco Bell back when you first started competing.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
What's the dude? Think back.
I mean,
what's the lowest?
It would have been better if they had like the Doritos Locos tacos, because then I could have only made one trip and I could have saved some of my prize money that I was playing for. You know,
true. What's the dude? When you think back, like how far this has gone and how much it's improved and how much the money's gone up. What is the lowest takeaway for you personally you've ever gotten from a first place?
I want to say it's probably somewhere around like $500, probably. I really do.
Yeah, it's wild.
That might be one of like the more like major online ones, but I think one of the first lands, it wasn't a lot, man. It was not a lot of money.
After taxes, yeah, you could buy a pair of shoes.
I didn't even know what taxes were back then. Now I do.
So you were avoiding your taxes back then, Joe?
No, you had to make a certain amount, and I definitely did not.
Okay, I got you. You were young. You were young
for that amount.
Right. You were young.
I was very young. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we're just waiting for the map 3 to get underway as we reminisce about the old times, the dark times, the early times for Call of Duty.
Why were they dark? Oh, jeez. Why were they dark, Maven?
I don't know, man. You weren't making much money, Joe, and I want you to make the most money. I want you to be rich, so I.
It was still fun.
That's true.
It was still a great time.
That's true. You're right, Joe. You're right. They weren't that dark. You just didn't have as much money. But I just want you to be. I want you to win as much money as you can, Joe, so you can be rich and I can live in your basement once my career falls apart and I have nowhere to go and my fiance leaves me and my entire life falls apart. I want you to be able to take care of me. I'm gonna live with you in Mo.
This entire basement room. It's for you. It literally has your name on it.
Yeah, it does, Joe.
It has your name on it.
That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But the players just getting locked and loaded, ready to get in. Is Empire maybe thinking how they're going to bounce back from that disappointing search and destroy. Hook especially went 1-8, not the result he wanted. We'll see if he can fire back as he's coming off a really incredible finals performance and just tournament performance back at LA. Hell, when we did contesting the point, I argued that Hook maybe should have been MVP, which was a horrible argument, but I did such a good job with it that I won the episode. You were absolutely right in arguing Clayster.
Yeah, you just talk really loud and intimidate people.
Yes,
That's why.
Yes, I do.
I
should have been a lawyer. I should have been a lawyer. Never would have lost the case.
I didn't listen to your BS. Yeah, probably.
You just shut me down. You'd be like, you just said a lot, but it didn't mean anything. I'm like,
It didn't mean one thing. I'd be like, yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
You're like, you're right.
Thanks,
yes.
Joe.
Yeah, I got you.
I try my best, Joe. What do you think?
I'll be honest. I just took a sip of water from this beautiful Activision Blizzard mug, and I definitely just nailed my tooth with it. So that hurt a little bit. I'm good.
You chipped your tooth?
No, I didn't chip, but I nailed it though. Like that hurt a little bit. I'm good.
Dude, teeth are weird, man. One time when I was young, we were having a pillow fight or something. I was like probably 11 or 12. A guy hit me with a pillow of all things. Chipped half of my tooth off, bro. Like half of my tooth fell off.
Pillow?
From a pillow.
What was in the pillow?
I think my teeth. If it hit me, my teeth must have hit awkwardly. But yeah, like I lost half a tooth to a pillow.
That was not a feather pillow.
It was a normal pillow. I mean, it was an 11-year-old kid.
way.
He didn't put rocks in it, Joe. He just hit me with a pillow.
He might have. He might not have liked you very much. You never know.
I was an annoying kid, so
I can only imagine.
It might have been the case, but I have heard from our production staff that we are close to getting into the map. This is just story time with Joe and Maven for a little bit.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
You might love it. You might hate it. But we're having a fantastic, marvelous time with the new online league. We hope you are as well. All right, so I have heard that the game is not quite ready, but it will be very, very soon. For now, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, something to work off of. Maybe the confidence is there. I think domination is one of those modes, though, as well, where when you look at newer rosters, it takes a lot more repetitions, right, just to sort of get on the same page. We'll see how they have progressed. I think watching this Dom, because there's so many different decisions that have to go down around the map, right, with the 3 objectives. You all have to be on the same page. Those comms have to be on point. So this will be a good one to watch for the Guerrillas. Yeah, hit me in my box. Yeah. I still can't believe a pillow cut your tooth in half. I can't wait. Oh, Illy's making a play. Oh. Yeah, Illy was trying to make the play. You have a big one-on-one going down right now. Clayster does get taken down by Spart.
Joe, I did what I told myself I wouldn't do. I did what I told myself I wouldn't do.
Okay, did you forget to unmute?
Yes, I forgot to unmute, Joe. That's on me.
All right, so it looks like I'm taking over because Maven forgot to
unmute
his mic. Did you unmute
I'm good now. I'm good now.
Okay.
But no,
I'm proud of you.
I forgot. I'm very sorry to everyone at home.
So I figured that was going to happen because we came back pretty quick. Yep. And you definitely weren't prepared for it. I was going to tell you to do it out loud, but you were so on top of it.
I've been doing a great job muting myself and unmuting myself. I dropped the ball there, Joe, and I'd like to apologize to everyone in the world.
Yeah, you really did.
I'm a failure, Joe.
That's okay. We'll get through this together.
I had some real fire commentary, too, let me tell you. It was some of the greatest commentary anyone's ever heard while I was muted.
All the compliments you were giving me and stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So, yeah, you can hear me. So we were talking about all the lovely stuff I was saying about you. Man, they just couldn't hear me. That's a real shame.
Yep.
That probably sounded real weird, actually. They don't hear me, but okay. 22-22, the scoreline. Illy started out 8-3. Well, where Blast was so good in map 2, he's now 0-3. It's suddenly a 4 versus 5. I believe maybe we lost somebody from Guerrillas.
Okay, we just got to play through it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the ruling is going to be on that, but for now we'll commentate the action and see what happens. But I do not think the Guerrillas will be taking Empire out of 4v5.
Yeah, that's going to be that would be something special. Dallas right now, they're able to flip that A flag.
Hold up, was that was a Black Ops 3?
What?
No, it was a search though. It was a search.
Are you awake? Did you get up? Did you take a walk?
It happened in the online. Oh, sorry. I was filling up my water cup. Dude, I'm messing up my audio. Did I sound far away for a second? John, I'm trying to stay hydrated. I got a Brita next to me on the desk. I was just, getting myself some water.
That's important. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, you can't commentate without staying hydrated.
Was it like a search though? Was it a search?
Yes, it was a search.
Okay, that's the only thing that could. I was gonna say there is no way at a professional level a team could win.
Okay, so we're gonna go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Dallas and listen to how they want to dominate this 5v4.
I'm up here.
Top L hit me map, I think, guys. Top L hit me map. Oh fuck! Watch my AC hop, bro.
Watching right.
I stunned him in map. I
Bottom
out, Vivid.
Top out, one bullet.
Get these kills. I hit it. Yo, top AC,
ABC, watch out.
Top out.
Watch out.
Last kid on B. Last kid on B.
Hit it.
I'm here with you. He's trophy on B. I'm needing cover.
Other one there.
I think you're hurting.
That's 3. Let's go. Yeah,
keep on green.
Let's go. I'm hitting left, guys. Yeah, top yellow. Take it. Top yellow, take it, top yellow. Got 2. Let's go, come on with me. Push up, Tyler.
Fake that.
I'm going for C.
Yeah. Keep camping A.
Next, so. I have your help, C.
Top green.
I have your help, C.
Got my cross.
Hey, guys, sit down. Top 3, blast.
Hey, guys.
2 on UC, 2 on UC.
Coming out, UC.
Just 2C.
Oh, camper blast. What the fuck? One shot on C.
Hold on.
He's at camper.
No, 2 on me, C.
Top out. Already top out, dead.
I'm going to bottom out with it.
Yeah, keep holding that shit.
Top yellow hurt. Yo, mid-map. Push it again.
I'm going C from right. Camp A.
I'm going back. I'm going back. You, yeah. Oh, cap C. Yo, he's spawned A on me. Already there. A, man. He's bottom A right now. He's gonna hop on A. Big win. A. Dead. He naded behind him, so no teammate, right?
No,
that was him. Yeah, push up.
They're gonna spawn.
We're back into things. Shotzi 13-5 on a 6-3. Still waiting to hear maybe what the ruling is with the fact that Guerrillas are down a man.
Did you unmute, man?
Yes, this time I unmuted, I think I did.
Okay, I gotta ask now. I gotta ask now.
Yeah, no, you might as well ask me every time, but I'm gonna make sure I don't do that again, Joe.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I think if you're Guerrilla, they got 2 flags, so that's a pretty good job. But then they all 4 went down, and yeah, I think just with this first half, they were just hoping not to get 3-cap the entire time. We'll see. Maybe
you know me.
At half will ended. I don't know.
Love commentating domination. If there's anything I love more than commentating 5v5 domination, it's 4v5 domination.
Is that true?
No, Joe.
I mean, the listening, the Empire players were loving it.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah, they were having an absolute blast.
Not much they can do. They just have to close out the game, right? Just handle business as usual, maybe have a little bit of fun, and win the map to compound the issues for the Guerrillas. Unfortunately, they're going to be spawning on the weak side. Now it's a 3v5, so the problems are just getting worse and worse. It's now just Spartan, Blast, and Vivid, the 3 newcomers, all their vets out.
Well, it just depends. It's a problem for the Guerrillas, absolutely. It's the opposite of problems for the Dallas Empire. Everything is going well for them right now.
Yeah, it's their home series, so just some home series magic, Joe.
Yeah. This is one of the... So Clay, when he was going to pull the rabbit out of the hat in map 2, and the rabbit stayed, this is his second magic trick, what he's doing right now?
He just kicked 2 out of the game? Yeah. Hey, the kill feed's purple, though, dude. They're lighting it up. 2 spree for Blast, 11 and 11. Blast is going off.
That's 4 in a row.
He's trying.
They're getting nasty with it. They're about to get big.
That's it.
They got a neutral.
Oh, my God. We've never seen a performance like this. Oh, they're dead. Okay. And the Empire have won. So we're going to wait and see what the ruling is. It could be a replay. I don't know. We haven't heard anything yet, but we'll see what this boils down to. Not sure exactly what happened. All right, so we'll be hopping out of the game for now, and as soon as we get more information, we'll let you know. We're not refs. I don't know how this plays out, but there was no chance in the world that you were going to see them win. I mean, Guerrillas just got hit by Thanos, bro. Like, they just weren't going to be doing it.
Is that what happened? Some people, I mean, they won. Like, the Avengers beat them. Like, that happened.
All right. Was that a really bad example?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
Well, I guess, they would have joined back into the game late and just dominated.
Or is me calling the Guerrillas the Avengers even worse? Shoot, we might have both messed up. I don't know. We might have both messed up.
We're just lying to people.
Yeah.
All right, well, the guys are talking it through. We just don't know.
All right, so we lost Decimate. Okay, we lost Decimate.
Aqua, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens as we look at all the players' cams. They're probably like chatting with admins and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going down. And that's even, dude, you just got to think about like how it's just everything's different now. You don't have admins and refs standing over their shoulder. Like everyone's just basically on a call, whether they're on TeamSpeak, Discord, whatever they're on right now, just kind of chatting through. I believe everyone's like in their TeamSpeak, and they're all just chatting through stuff, refs hopping in as they try to solve it. But it's interesting. I would imagine a replay. Joe, you worked in League Ops for a while. What's you know what, Joe? You're making the call. What's the call, Joe?
I'm definitely not doing that. That would be bad.
As the commissioner on the Maven World League, as I believe in an interview, I got permission from Johanna to be co-commissioner. You're making the call, Joe.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to. I'm not saying anything.
I just want to see if I can bait you into it, Joe. But you've got a long history.
There is an idea in the back of my head and what we used to do, but that is no longer my job. My job is now to babysit you, and that's what I do.
You do a good job of it. I'm still alive, Joe.
I got a promotion.
Yeah, promote.
I used to have to babysit pros, and that sucked. Now you have to babysit you.
Is it easier?
Awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Thanks, Joe.
Better.
Thanks, Joe. I need a life coach and a babysitter, so you do a great job.
Yep. I got you.
That's very kind of you. This has been a process to get this map 3 going. Unfortunately, I know we had the technical delays right before it. Now potentially a replay, but we want to get through this series for you guys. What time is it right now?
I don't know.
9:40 Central. Yeah, it's well. I mean, it's been a long day because you had the first two series go 5 games. They were like really long, competitive series, and it's our first day doing the broadcast with all this the new tech and everything. So it's been an interesting day.
It's almost our bedtime. Typically I am in bed.
100%.
Right around now.
Oh, I is way past my bedtime. I'm already in bed playing Slay the Spire on my Switch. Ready to get ready to sleep.
Usually if I'm this awake and when I'm in bed, that's when I have a little melatonin. I go to sleep. I snooze.
True. Okay. All right. Well, guys, the refs are figuring it out. Joe wouldn't make the call, so this delay you can completely blame on Joe. We'll be right back with the call right after this quick break.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome back. We're getting ready soon, I promise, to get into the map 3. But before we get there, I do want to take a look at the damage dealt leaderboard for the search and destroy map 2, and it was Blast.
That's what we play.
He was disgusting.
That's what we play.
Blast was a beast. He absolutely went off. The first bloods were there. The kills were there. He did like 33% more damage than anybody else in the game. He was frying.
Yeah, I mean, Spart was second. He was at 932. So that is a lot more damage. That's 600 more damage. That's an impressive game out of Blastful.
I want Blast to be good so badly. Not that he's bad per se. I want him to be like a top player. Like, I feel like he's just one of the young talent that came in, and you see those maps, dude. I'll never forget thinking about, like, it was back in Call of Duty World War II, man. There'd be like an Arden Forest hardpoint, and I look at it, and the guy's 20-5. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna fry. And then by the end of the game, he's 28-28. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like, he has these moments where he looks like a beast. I just want to see if he can get it more consistent. And if he does, I mean,
yeah, it's one of those things that we talked about earlier, right? Where like everybody's sort of taking a risk, and I know you're always the one that pointed off. He's sort of one of the ones that the risk didn't pay off. Like, it just feels like either he hasn't gotten comfortable on a pro team or just hasn't played at the same level that we know he has played on online.
Certainly.
Like, it's just that like land confidence hasn't been there for him.
It's paid off in the sense. I mean, he's still in the league, and he's still better than a lot of players.
He's
competing,
still been on pro
but
teams,
he's not.
But
he's
like
not
he
elite.
hasn't turned into a
Not elite.
superstar. Yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I guess when do you think? So that okay, let's think of like what would I compare it to? Let's think like wide receivers in the NFL. Like usually within 3 years, you know. Like if you draft a stud wideout, usually because you've seen stud wideouts like have like a really good year one and then they fall off. But like usually by year 3, you know. I'm more speaking from like fantasy side of things. But like if they're going to be putting up numbers. Like is there something for you yet with like a Call of Duty player where like they're at a point in their career they competed at pro level long enough where you're like, they have it or they don't?
I think it's obviously the individual talent has to be there, but I think what we were talking about with like Decimate earlier and Hook, we're waiting for them to be on like that roster. So like I think that's the big thing for me. It's like a roster. Like when you look at a team and you're like, all right, that team could win. When you say that and then they underperform, I think that's a big like maybe this guy isn't who we thought he was, if that makes sense. Because I think it's just so tough because it's such a team game. I think especially now with 5v5, even more so, where the roster just has to be there. I mean, think about all the times we talked about Hook and what we expected from him, and he's had rosters and different rosters. Finally, this year, we looked at it and we were like, this should be the one. And guess what? Just a month or I don't even know how long ago that was now. It was the one. He got his win.
That's true. But yeah, for those of you just waiting, I believe we're still waiting on a ruling. And it's always not crystal clear in the sense of you just got to remember everything has to be consistent. Whatever is decided right now needs to be decided for any future series. And I'm sure they are talking to the Empire side and their coaches, the Guerrilla side and their coaches, and they're all speaking through it. Clay's talking right now. So Clay's chatting with someone. I can't tell if he's talking to his teammates or he's laughing at a ref. One of the two.
I just see him laughing. I don't know. Yeah, we could like see off like facial expressions. I don't know. What are we looking at here?
It doesn't feel like they're really talking to anyone. So maybe it's at the point where the footage is being reviewed and they're making a call. But I'm kind of surprised they haven't done it at this point. But we'll see what the case may be.
Like you said, though, I think it's one of those things where like we're setting a precedent. First day back, the last match of the first day, we are setting the precedent moving forward. If there's any disconnects on domination,
that's what's interesting too. It's like have we seen some issues happen on LAN, not just with Call of Duty, but with multiple titles where something happens, you have to make a tough call or you have to make a decision. But we know that you can run into these problems more online. That's just a fact. That is a fact. We will have more situations like this. So yeah, you got to be crystal clear. You got to make the right call and set the precedent. So hopefully we'll have that.
No, I mean it's just like. It's why we're in the situation we're in, right? You can't control the world. Power could go out. Internet company. We've all dealt with internet problems.
I remember back in the online league back in Black Ops 3 AW, like all the crazy scenarios that would pop up. I mean, sometimes legitimate, sometimes not. What was the one time? What did Krim try to pull the one time? He said he was driving back from the airport. He wouldn't be there for match time. When I was talking to the admins, they were like, "What? Like you just didn't schedule accordingly for your match?" There was something ludicrous that happened. Krim would crack me up, man. The arguments he would make for trying to delay a match.
I have some funny ones with him. With some online stuff.
I believe it.
So.
I believe it.
Yeah, I have like experiences where like internet. I remember internet went out at like my parents' house. I had to drive to my friend's house. Like actually, like then you have to play on like their equipment, which they don't have a monitor, so you're playing on it would suck. But yeah,
you're like playing on a TV or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, not fun stuff.
I think just looking at it, we do have everybody in the lobby too, so we should be able to fire it off as soon as the decision has been made. But it's gonna be really interesting. But we're gonna take a look real quick though at the CDL the points overall presented by GameFuel, just where we kind of stand through these number of tournaments we've had. Is FaZe and Huntsman still sitting at the top, Empire right behind him. Looking at that though, so you look at the bottom of it, right? And we have, I need to actually scroll down on my other monitor so I can see all this. So we have what? Guerrillas, Ultra, Surge are all here. The other teams that are here are at least sitting sort of comfortably around the middle or top of the pack. But those three in particular, Surge, Ultra, Guerrillas, they have to get points. They need to start making some noise. We know Seattle already fell flat. Toronto did step up and get a big 10 points. Guerrillas, I think, have a chance here, right? Like, this is a big chance. And this would be a huge upset. I mean, this would shake up at least the beginning of this pool big time.
Well, and I think if you look at this group, like, they have a chance. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, still waiting on the decision. We're trying to get back in the game as quickly as we can. Thank you for the patience. We're trying. I promise. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back. We do have a ruling, and unfortunately for Guerrillas, it is going to be a map forfeit. So the series is still going to go on, but they're going to be down 1-2 as Empire will take over. And Joe, you can probably speak to this a little bit more, but to my understanding, the problem is this. One of the players dropped out, lagged out, whatever was the issue. The problem is the second player quit out of the map, and you can't do that.
Well, I don't even know if the first one might have left. We don't know that.
That's true. That's
basically
true.
Basically, it comes down to this. If there's typically issues online, you notify an admin, you get video, whatever it is, you never leave the game. Because
play through it until there's a call made.
Exactly. You notify who you can, but yeah, it just seems like because they left, they didn't play it through. Dallas will win map 3.
It's tough, but those are the rules, right? You got to play through it, and you kind of said that when it happened. I think when we were commentating, you said they need to play. They have to play. Like, that's just because
you just have to play it right now. The people in the background will work on it. It like sucks because it's one of those things where like you can't control anything, but yeah, you just have to wait for the admin call. And when players try to take it into their own hands, that's when things get wonky.
Okay, well, it's tough, but that is going to be how it stands. So we're going to get ready to head into the hard point now. Empire will be able to close it out with this map. They took the first hard point. Actually, here, hold up. Let me take a look at the... I want to take a look at just the email we got with... I'm trying to remember who banned what and picked what with regards to this map. Is this... So what? It's Hackney. And this was the pick for which... I had the bans in front of me. No, I can't find them. I can't find them.
It's a great question.
No, I had the email with all the banned picks. I was trying to pull it up real quick, but then I just ended up looking like an idiot.
I do too, but I really don't know.
No, I'll be honest with you. I did find it. I just didn't understand what I was looking at. There were just letters and words and sides. I got confused, Joe.
That's what I was thinking. But basically, I'm thinking this was Dallas pick because the Guerrillas have the coalition side, which I believe is the better side.
Well,
so that's how I'm going to base off of it.
That makes a lot more sense. That is actually the easiest thing. I could have looked directly at my screen, Joe. Excellent job. All right, map going to be loading in.
Problem.
Again, apologies for the delay, but we'll get back into it. A tough decision had to be made, obviously, on the CDL side, but the decision has been made, and we will keep the match going.
Oh, Clay's dancing. Get it, Clay. Let's go. Clay's getting into it. I like that.
Oh.
The vibes are flowing.
Yeah, what is he listening to? Because I don't want to listen to that, man. He was having fun.
Yeah.
Technically, Joe, since we're pushing via OBS our side of the stream, we could play whatever we wanted. Now, we might get fired. We might get fired, Joe, but I could really do whatever I want. Hell, I could put whatever I want into this video feed. We have a lot of power right now, Joe.
we do. We have a lot of power.
All right, map 4 now. Guerrillas Empire. Guerrillas, can they battle back? I guess the big thing is, can they regain from that? I mean, sure, that was a tough pill to swallow, but a mistake was made on the part of Guerrillas. Now, can they bounce back? Decimate and Aqua combined to take down 4. That's opening control of the hardpoint. Now, look at that number 3. That's going to be Blast is trying to push through the back. He's going to try and influence Spawn on the other side of it. As soon as I call it out, though, Blast is going to get his head torn off by Illy. But they'll continue to try and apply pressure here and push through. This might be an opening. That was the opening.
I mean, they got flipped out, though. I mean, they got flipped. Dallas did a great job right off the start. It was Guerrillas who started on that side of the map.
They flipped it back, though.
Yeah, they flipped it back quick. Maybe, yeah. Now it feels like they did. And they, all that time, but it's behind Decimate, who's able to have that multi-kill of 4.
It's pretty rare that you see one flip. You rarely ever see 2 flips on the first hardpoint to set up for the second hardpoint in tires. That was interesting. But after all of that, like, I know it was messy, but Guerrillas got actually a ton of time. Like, a ton of time in that first hardpoint. They went 43 points and have spawns for next. I mean, they do a good job here. You're looking at, what, like 100-9 scoreline?
Yeah, it feels like their slaying is on point, too. If we can bring up that scoreboard. I mean, you saw all the multi-kills coming in. Yeah, so Decimate with a hot start. Aqua as well. Remember, Aqua in map 1 had a really fast start, and then he started to slow down. So watch his scoreline. We'll see what he does. Illy, he has a chance to make a play. Can he win the one-on-one against Blastful? He does. This is huge. It sort of messes with the Guerrilla setup. Here comes those blue arrows as they start to fly in. Shotzi, Clayster, Hook, all able to find kills. But even behind all those kills, they will get some time. I thought the Guerrillas were going to get back into it.
Wait, this is Guerrillas. I don't want to highlight it too much, but just because it's the only one I can think of. The only other forfeit that's really jumping to my mind was Guerrillas in Minnesota, right?
Correct. I was thinking that as well.
Interesting. Okay. Poor Guerrillas keep running into issues, but 88-16 will be the score after 2 hard points. Now a chance to answer back if you're Empire, but the player in the hardpoint gets picked out of it almost immediately. They still have spawns for it close, but the pressure now mounting in from Guerrillas. A break here, the scoreline might be unrecoverable from if they're able to put any more separation between themselves and Empire. But I don't know. I guess you gotta love this. I know it's this map, and I know you're almost guaranteed this type of lead through 2 with that spawn, but still, to bounce back from the forfeit and start this strong is good from Guerrillas.
Yeah, I think that you sort of hit the nail on the head, right? I mean, sort of forfeiting a map, that can be tough to deal with. I don't know what the comms were like, but they just sort of, you know what, let's just play our game. Again, that first map hardpoint, it was like 160. It was so close, and then Dallas, the back half of the game, that's when they took over. So you have this 80-point lead, and I think you just want to capitalize on it as much as you can, try to keep it. It's Vivid doing a great job around this office area as we're going to rotate over here. It does get taken down by Shotzi inside the hill.
This is kind of the next big sequence to see where this scoreline is going to go. What kind of battle do we have at green, and then who gets spawns for docks? So far, it's Guerrillas. They've got everybody over there, but we've seen a lot of shifts on this hard point. It gets a little bit wonky when you're trying to all flood into green. But Empire for now,
I think too, what we see a lot of times is like teams try to focus so much on Docks Hill spawns that they give up like 40 to 50 seconds, and then they get flipped so easily, and it just feels like everything sort of goes wrong. And it's kind of reminded me right now, I mean, Guerrillas haven't even been able to get in. That 80-point lead now down to 40. If the Empire get the rest of it, it'll be down to 30, and this is exactly what they want. Such a big kill. Now that's 4 kills. You're going to see all the blue arrows trying to fly towards the left side of the map. Illy does get through, but he's going to have to win a 1-on-5.
Well,
Does he get shut down? But there's that deficit already down to 30
Hey, if you
points.
think about Empire, Joe, I mean, I know you got the win in Los Angeles, but if you were having a nightmare about one thing over the last month, it was this map and mode. I mean, that's where the tournament almost slipped away from you, right? That's where things fell apart.
Yeah.
Røkkr brought it back in one of the crazier map forward grand finals we've ever had. Like, it was a nutty map where Empire collapsed, where usually they would go big, but wasn't a collapse there in the docks. They're able to get the break, kind of like what you alluded to, and now a chance for a lead change if they can get this remaining time.
Yeah, it was behind Crim and Clay. Clay found 3 kills. Crim picked up the final 2. They're able to get that break in. Hook, I don't know if he's going to expect another player here. That was Aqua just playing alive up top. And once again,
there's still 20 seconds
a
left.
nice break from Guerrillas. Yeah, they're going to take those 20 seconds. They're going to have a 50-point lead as we go back to our first hill in our next rotation.
For some reason, I was thinking there was less time on that hard point, but yeah, it was close to like 25 seconds they're actually going to get from that. So when I had mentioned a potential lead change, that lead grows yet again for Guerrillas. Now, into our second set. It was mayhem setting up for second the first time through. What will it set up for us this time? Great from Empire. Not only do you have the spawns, but you're also doing a good job getting time. That's not going to last very long, but it was good throughout the first 15 or so seconds.
I was just going to say, if you're Guerrillas, you know that Empire is going to play heavy for this second hill because they know that's their way back into this game. I just think you try to get as much time as you can right now. Keep that 70-point lead so a big second hill, doesn't, change that lead as the game continues to go on.
You get most of this hard points basically a wash, right? Yeah, okay, you lose tires, but you have the same lead you went into it with, right? If they can push it out. And they've done a pretty good job. But first 20 or so points to Empire, well, first 15, the rest over to Guerrillas. That's not going to be a 5 spree for Blast. They're going to be up close to 80 points. Now, if you're Empire, we're kind of talking about the Guerrilla side of it. If you're Empire, you have to hold this. You have to hold this if you're Empire. The game's over.
Yeah, this basically has to be a perfect hold.
Has to be.
Like you said.
No question.
Oh, no! Just knifed Clay, and it's no longer a perfect hold. Is that going to be the opening? It isn't. Those close spawns. That's what we're talking about. I mean, what, 3 or 4 go down, and they still spawn right next door. Unbelievable.
That's why it's a money hill, Joe.
You think that they just print money for you? I mean, they literally.
I was about to say this is like more than a money hill. It's
I don't even know it. This is just a guarantee at this point.
Oh, unbelievable! I thought maybe they did it, but good thing for Empire. It's likely going to be a much closer game now, because they will just hold on. That contest.
Well, it's big 15.
There's still 2 players there, though, right? Oh my God! Decimate.
He got all 3. He got all 3.
I mean, that what I thought was going to be a 1 to 2 second contest actually ends up being what, a 10 to 15 point swing.
Yeah.
Hell of a play there.
And now they can get set up. You have 2 players controlling green side. You want to get that push out as far as you can. Force them inside of that warehouse. Blast just trying to soak up as much time as possible. The smokes go down. Hook gets behind it. Hook just turns on Spart. A nice slide cancel through, and that's going to be 4 dead. Aqua the only player up, but that was just disgusting movement from Hook the Nuke.
The movement on point. Shotzzy, he's on a 5 spree, so we'll hop over to his POV. 24 and 21. He was their best player in the first hard point. 90 seconds of the hard point. Put up 39 kills, I believe, is his final tally. He'll drop before he can reach 7 in a row, but Guerrillas over the 200-point mark. 46 more to close it out, but Empire absolutely in striking distance. They can bring this back. It's all going to come down to that transition, likely from green to docks, unless Guerrillas can just lock down green.
Yeah, I mean, they have a solid hold right now. You have Blast on this wall with the M4 exactly where you want him. He's going to work inside. Aqua's going to take his staircase. Some kills are going down middle of the map, but they're just soaking up time. And like you said, Dallas, they have to go.
Yeah. This is where it gets scary, because now you have to put resources towards this hard point, which puts you at higher risk of maybe flipping out from that left side dock spawn. But so far, a good job contesting, and they have Guerrillas spawning right where they want them, all the way at that back building towards tires. But there's the push through. Now Blast is going to go through. He goes over the top, gets the kill in the back, and there's the spawn. Look at it. Look at that spawn. Vivid and Decimate going to pop on him. But that's the problem there for Empire, because that's the type of thing that can happen. Somebody can lurk through, because you have to put every single ounce of your focus onto green because of the scoreline. Blast sneaks through. Blast makes the play. Blast flips the spawns. And it's likely going to be a Guerrillas win and get us to a map 5 as a result.
Well, Dallas Empire, they were able to break this one.
It's not over. It's not over, but
yeah, we'll see if they do it. But when those kills go down, 4 already dead, you see where the blue arrows are spawning. They have a hike across the map. Get that tactical sprint out. Vivid on half wall. He will get taken down. Now this is it. The final push coming in right now.
This looks like this is like what Røkkr had to do to Empire, right? Like this final.
Oh, they got in. Illy got in. Illy got in. Can he hit the door? Illy got in. He finds all 3. He finds all 3, and they flip the spot.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And they can win it here. They can win it here. So now Guerrillas have to track the whole way across the map. Oh God, not like this. Not like this. This is bringing me back to Empire Røkkr to close out LA. Now all the pressure on Guerrillas to try and get in, get some kind of contest. So far, they're holding it. It's a big win that comes in from Hook. He's actually able to get 2. They're spawning out again. There has to be some kind of contest.
That's it. There's only one.
He's got a contest. He's not able to do it.
How did Illy get
That's
in,
likely going to be the game. That's going to be the game. They can't get there. They can't get there. That's an Empire Series win. Some home series magic for Dallas. Wow. How?
I don't know. I'm like hoping. I'm like, is this it? This is it right here. I think
it's
this
gotta
is
be.
It's
gotta be.
He just finds one.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness!
And then finesses the box, the triple to win the game.
There's not a smoke down. There is nothing down. He just gets under him. I don't know if there was like someone yellow. Or I have no idea what happened, but it was one of those plays where I think if someone just puts their controller down, or just L triggers the front door, it's done.
Dude, that literally is bringing me back to memories from the final. Like, but this time on the opposite side of it, Dallas are able to get that big break at Docks behind the huge play from Illy. Well, if the map 3 was a sucker punch, maybe to the Guerrilla side, they just got drop kicked in the throat. Like that was just. They had the game. They had dock spawns. They had the lead. They had everything going their way, and Illy just flew through and drop kicked them.
Yeah, I mean, you had a big game once again out of Blastful, 31-23. Okay, so we touched on it into pregame, right? It's just like you saw improvements from Guerrillas, though. They were in the hard points for the most part, and well, Dallas Empire, they just handled business.
They get the win. It's a crazy day 1. We've had a lot of fun. We're not done quite yet. You know, we're going to kind of wrap up the show and kind of talk through where we stand heading into day 2, but Dallas get it done. What a performance from them. What a comeback from them in the map 4. They get the 3-1 victory. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break. After that, we're just wrapping the day. Be right back.